You ever notice how everybody says they love the truth? Until they actually hear it, oh, they love the idea of truth. They think it's noble, heroic, something you put on a bumper sticker or a church sign. But the real truth, the kind that makes your skin crawl and your ego shrink 2 sizes smaller, nah, nobody wants that kind of truth. People want a version of it that feels like a bedtime story, a soft, cozy, marshmallow truth that tucks them in at night and tells them everything's gonna be fine. That's why we live in a world where honesty is treated like a disease. You tell people what's real and suddenly you're the problem. You're negative. You're toxic. They don't want truth. They want comfort, preferably in pastel colors, preferably with a jingle. The world has built an entire industry around avoiding honesty. Politicians lie, preachers twist, and advertisers sell nonsense with a smile, so white it can blind an astronaut. And the people, they buy it, wrap it up, and call it hope. But the funny thing is, the truth never goes away. It just hangs around, waiting for the lights to go out, and then it whispers, "Hey buddy, remember me." The truth's got patience it'll outlive every slogan, every press release, every award show apology. You can't cancel reality, you can't filter it, you can't edit it in post. You can dress it up, but underneath all that perfume and Photoshop, it's still sitting there, waiting to ruin your day. And isn't it strange how the people who lie the most are the ones we trust the most? The moment someone puts on a suit, suddenly we believe every syllable that leaks out of their mouth. You slap a title in front of their name, president, pastor, professor, and boom, they become a walking gospel. But if the guy down the street says the same thing in a T-shirt, he's a lunatic. That's the magic of packaging. Truth depends on wardrobe. We've gotten so delicate now, we treat words like weapons. You say one rough thing, and people act like you threw a brick through their soul. There are folks out there who think being offended is a skill, like it's an Olympic event. They train for it. They wake up in the morning, check the news, and think, all right, what can I be mad about today? It's a full-time job now, professional outrage. And the best part, they don't even need to understand the issue. They just need to feel offended, because feelings have replaced facts. We used to say, the truth hurts. Now it's, the truth violates community guidelines. That's progress. Somewhere along the line, people decided comfort is more important than clarity. And once you start protecting feelings instead of facts, you end up with a culture that worships make believe. We live in a giant theme park of denial. Everyone's wearing emotional seat belts and safety helmets, just trying to get through the day without hearing something real. And this obsession with politeness, don't even get me started. Be nice. Be kind. Don't say that. Yeah, well, kindness without honesty is manipulation. You ever notice that it's fake sugar for your brain? People say be kind right before they sell you something. Be kind is what the store says while charging you double. Be kind is what the company says while laying you off. If they were honest, they'd say, we care deeply about you, as long as you keep spending. See, honesty doesn't mean being cruel. It means not pretending. There's a difference. The truth isn't rude. It's just inconvenient. It ruins the little fantasy world people build to survive the week. It tells them their heroes are human, their leaders are actors, and their own thoughts might not be as original as they think. That's why people hate it. It makes them feel small. It makes them realize the universe doesn't revolve around their mood. But here's the kicker. The truth doesn't care if you like it. It doesn't need your approval or your applause. It's not here to make friends. It's here to remind you what's real. Before you lose track completely, the truth doesn't knock politely. It kicks the door open, walks in, and says, yeah, it's me again. Clean up your mess. You can hide behind slogans, politics, hashtags, and motivational posters. but eventually reality cashes the check every time, and that's the beauty of it. You can't fool it, you can't spin it, and you sure as hell can't cancel it. The truth doesn't need a PR team. It's undefeated, and the funniest part, deep down everybody knows it. They just don't want to admit it out loud, because once you admit the truth, you can't go back to sleep. That's why the truth hurts, because it wakes you up. You look around long enough and you start to realize this whole place is one big circus. Every part of society's got its own tent, its own ringmaster and a brand. New set of clowns every season. And the best part, nobody even tries to hide it anymore. They just slap on a fancy title and call it leadership. Politics, religion, television, corporations. It's all one long, badly written comedy show where the laugh track never stops. You don't even need a ticket. You're born into the front row. Everywhere you look, there's a performance going on. Politicians are actors pretending to care. Preachers are storytellers pretending to know. And the news is a stage play pretending to inform. The audience claps, cries, argues, then goes home thinking they've just witnessed something meaningful. Nope. Just another matinee of the illusion of control. And tomorrow they'll show up again. Same seats, same snacks, same outrage. Because deep down, people love the show. They love pretending it's real. The political ring is my favorite act. You got two parties yelling at each other like rival rodeo clowns, both pretending to be different, both owned by the same guy selling popcorn. Every 4 years, they dust off the same slogans, paint the same promises, and folks line up thinking this time it'll be different. Yeah, sure. That's like expecting a magician to tell you where the rabbit went. The audience knows it's a trick, but they still clap, because it feels better than admitting the show's rigged. Then you've got the media, the sideshow that never closes. These folks could take a raindrop and turn it into a hurricane if it helps ratings. They don't report anymore. They perform. Everything's a breaking story, even if it's been broken for 10 years. They scream about drama, panic, and tragedy like they're auditioning for a soap opera. And the audience eats it up, eyes glued to the screen, hearts pounding, thinking they're being informed. No, you're being entertained by people who majored in panic and minored in exaggeration. Religion's got its own big tent too, with a golden collection plate and a light show that would put Vegas to shame. They sell salvation like it's a time. Share, pay monthly, believe faithfully, and maybe someday you'll get a piece of paradise. They've turned faith into business, hope into product, and guilt into a subscription plan. And just like any good business, they know their audience. Promise them eternity, and they'll give you their wall. It's right now. And the education system, oh, what a clever little trick that one is. They don't teach you how to think. They teach you how to obey. Line up, memorize, repeat. Ask too many questions, and suddenly you're disruptive. The goal isn't wisdom, it's compliance. They want you smart enough to do your job, but not smart enough to question why you're doing it. They don't want philosophers. They want employees who spell check their resignation letters. Then you got the corporate tent, the biggest one of them all. That's where the real ringmasters live. They've got us juggling bills, balancing debt, and smiling while we do it. Every ad says you're special, but they sell the same sneakers to everybody. You deserve the best. They say, right before they charge you extra for it. They tell you to follow your dreams, as long as your dreams include buying their product. They sell happiness one credit card swipe at a time, and people keep lining up like it's a carnival ride that never ends. The funniest part, we act shocked when the system screws us. We built this circus, folks. We paid for the tent, hired the clowns, And now we're mad because the elephants keep making a mess. Every time something goes wrong, people look for someone to blame. It's the government, it's the media, it's the corporations. No, it's us. We bought the tickets. We handed them the spotlight. We even laugh at their jokes. People love to say, the system's broken. No, it's not. The system works exactly the way it was designed to, just not for you. It's a magic trick that keeps your eyes on the fireworks while your wallet slowly disappears. And we fall for it every time because deep down we like the distraction. The truth is boring, lies are exciting, and nobody wants to live in reality when the fantasies got better lighting. We've turned the world into a carnival of contradictions, where stupidity is celebrated, intelligence is ignored, and decency is optional. You got folks walking around bragging about ignorance like it's a personality trait. You try to talk sense, and they look at you like you're the clown, and maybe that's the real joke. The audience became the act. That's the punchline right there. We're not watching the circus anymore. We are the circus.